Christina and welcome to my kitchen. I am a former personal chef and I have worked for many private families over the years. I've enjoyed cooking for my clients and creating custom recipes specific to their dietary needs, or most importantly, for some clients who had severe allergy restrictions. I took that job very seriously because the health of my clients was in my hands. I researched and developed recipes through the years that were nutritious, delicious, and 100% safe for my clients to eat. Today, I have to take those very same recipes and use them myself because I have developed Crohn's disease late in life. I'm excited to share how I keep myself healthy through my diet. Please make sure to subscribe for regular videos on Crohn's friendly recipes that are my personal favorites. Okay, so today I am going to be making braised ginger meatballs. And I love this recipe. Let me tell you a little bit about it. The ingredients calls for ground pork, eggs, breadcrumbs, fresh ginger, and salt. And for the broth, it is basically coconut milk, which really makes my stomach happy. Low sodium broth, chicken broth, and again, I like to use bone broth in lieu of it. Again, more fresh ginger sliced up. And the original recipe calls for red hot chilies, and of course I can't have that. But I like to add sweet chilies. They have no heat at all, and they make the dish look great, and they're tasty. I could eat them. What else? Turmeric, which is good. A little bit of sugar. You could skip the sugar if you don't want, but it's only a half teaspoon, so that's like not a big deal. It also calls for a handful of baby spinach. And I know for some of you that might not be good, but I find it in very small amounts. It's fine. I add it in, it wilts, it gets all soft, and my stomach doesn't seem to be bothered by it. So, pick and choose your ingredients and adjust as needed. You can serve it with chopped fresh mint and cilantro leaves. And you can skip that if you'd rather not. And I like to serve it with basmati rice or even jasmine rice. So that's the rundown on the recipe. The meatballs are made and baked and then put in the broth. So good. Let's get started. I'll show you how to make it. Preheat your oven to 425 degrees Fahrenheit. Crack eggs in a smaller bowl and then add them one at a time. Cracking them in a separate bowl helps catch any broken shells, as I did here. Always use the broken shell of the egg to remove any cracked pieces because the shell attracts any shells that are floating on top. Continue by adding panko breadcrumbs, salt, and finely minced fresh ginger. Right in the same bowl, and using a fork, I give the eggs a quick whisk. I like to wear kitchen gloves so I can easily mix everything together. Line a baking sheet with parchment paper and use a medium-sized cookie scoop. The scoop allows me to easily scoop up some meat into my hand and then roll meat evenly to form a ball. To expedite the process, I scoop out several meatballs and then roll them together all at once. This recipe makes approximately 35 meatballs. Place prepared meatballs in the oven and bake until the meatballs are golden brown and just cook through about 12 minutes. Remove the skin from the ginger with a spoon. I find the spoon does a much better job than using a peeler. Once the ginger is peeled, cut it thinly into round slices. Prepare and de-seed the sweet chili peppers. Cut off ends of each pepper and remove the seeds and ribs easily with a small paring knife. Cut each pepper into rounds, place in bowl, and set aside. Roll the lime to loosen up the juice. Cut in half and zest the one half with a microplane. Meanwhile, make the broth. In a large, ideally wide saucepan, combine the coconut milk, chicken bone broth, turmeric, your freshly prepared ginger, and your sliced sweet chili peppers. Lime zest and its juice, measure out about a tablespoon of honey, and lastly, add the sea salt. Bring to a boil over high heat, then reduce the heat to a low simmer. Cover and simmer for 10 minutes until all the flavors are infused into the broth. At this point, you could leave everything in the broth or feel free to remove everything with a skimmer so that your end result is a smooth broth. I like to leave everything in my broth and then proceed by adding the meatballs. Once your meatballs are in, return to a simmer, cover and simmer until cooked through and tender, about an additional 10 to 15 minutes. Add spinach and cook just to wilt.
Serve in a large soup bowl with a side of jasmine rice. And lastly, I like to sprinkle fresh chopped parsley.
Please make sure to subscribe for regular videos on Crohn's friendly recipes that are my personal favorites. Thank you so much for watching today, and please make sure to come back weekly and join me in my kitchen where I will be cooking up something fabulous and Crohn's friendly to eat. Thanks so much for tuning in. See you soon.